In my previous video, I shared about the structure of human eye. Now, in this video, I would like to describe about the working of human eye and its power of accommodation. My dear students, when the object is placed in front of the eye, then the ray of light coming from the object, first they enter through the cornea. That is the cornea is the front opening, so it is transparent through which the light enters in the eye. So there is an aperture that is called pupil. This allows the light to enter in the right amount. The aperture of the pupil can be changed or adjusted by the colored part of the eye, which is called iris. So iris is the our colored part of the eye, right? This also control the aperture of the pupil and hence controls the amount of light entering in the eye. That means when we see the object in bright light, the aperture of the pupil is reduced so that a limited amount of light is allowed to permitted to enter in the eye. But when we see the object in the dim light, then it requires more light to provide the to supply the into the eye. Therefore, the aperture of the pupil is increased with the help of the iris, and then the pupil collects more light from the surrounding in the dim medium. Now, when the ray of light after passing through the this aperture passes through the eye lens. Eye lens is very flexible because it is made up of the jelly-like material, and its flexibility help us to adjust its focal length. So it is convex in nature. The ray converges and focus at the retina. So we get a real inverted and diminished image of the clear sharpness which is formed at the retina. Retina, as earlier discussed, that it has the two types of the receptor cells, cone shaped cells and rod shaped cells. At the retina, this image is then formed at the retina is converted into the electrical signal, and information of this signal is sent to the brain via optic nerves, and then brain interprets. There is a problem. Problem is that the image formed at the retina is inverted, but the object appears as erect as they are. Why? This is because the optic nerves not only carry the information of the image formed at the retina, but they also present in such a way that the brain interprets the image as same as the object is and alike. This is very important thing to you have to remember. Okay, next is, my dear students, we are able to see the nearby object as well as distant objects of the same clarity. How is it possible? This is possible because of the flexibility of the eye lens, and this ability of the eye lens is called power of accommodation. So how will I define the power of accommodation? The ability of the eye lens to adjust its focal length so that one can see the nearby objects as well as the distant objects of the same clarity is called the power of accommodation. Power of accommodation. Since our eye is a fibrous jelly-like material, therefore its curvature can be changed to some extent, but there is a limit. To some extent, by the ciliary muscles, the change in the curvature of the eye lens thus change its focal length. And for when we see the far object, how does the focal length change? Just you see that when we see the distant objects, then our ciliary muscles are relaxed, and then our lens becomes thin. When the lens becomes thin, then its focal length is increased. This allows to see distant objects clearly. But for nearby objects, ciliary muscles are contracted. When the ciliary muscles are contracted, the curvature of the eye lens is increased and hence its focal length decreases. The eye lens becomes thick and hence it allows to form the image of the nearby object at the retina, and so we can see the object clearly. But this focal length which is changed is only up to a limit, means this contracting property of the ciliary muscles is only up to a certain limit. This is because the two things are, one thing is the how much, up to how much limit the ciliary muscles will contract, and how much the thickness of the eye lens will change. So this limit provides us to see the things clearly up to a certain distance. So we have the 2 points. One is the minimum distance of the object, and second is the maximum distance of the object. The minimum distance of the object is known as near point, and the maximum distance of the object, that is called far point. So what is near point? Our ciliary muscles which change the focal length the eye lens, that is adjust the focal length of the eye lens, is up to a certain limit. So when we see able to see the object clearly which is very close to us up to a limit, that is the minimum distance. The minimum distance of the object that can be seen clearly is called the near point, or least distance of distinct vision. Least distance of distinct vision or near point for a normal adult eye, it is 25 centimeter. Note down, for a normal adult eye, the near point or least distance of distinct vision is 25 centimeter. Now, what is the maximum distance? That is the far point. So, the maximum distance of the object that can be seen clearly is called the far point of the normal eye. For a normal eye, it is up to infinity. Infinity means there is no range of measurement. Suppose we can see the moon, we can see the stars, so but they are far, far away from us. So that's why we can say the maximum range, maximum distance of the object that can be seen by our eye is up to infinity. So there is the range of the vision. What is called range of the vision? The minimum distance, that is 25 centimeter up to infinity, for which the object can be seen clearly, is called range of vision. So there are some important things that you have to remember. You have to note down all these things in your notebook. Thank you.